Hey Collision community, what is going on? From myself and the entire team at Collision Drumsticks and from all of us at the Collision community, I just want to take a moment first to acknowledge the new year and wish every single one of you guys, drummers, clients, artists, a part of our roster, a very happy new year. Welcome to 2022, guys. As you can see by today's title, you are in the right place if you are looking to take action for your drumming, for your music this new year. Many drummers are thinking forward, thinking ahead, and looking into new ways to create distance in this new year. Again, a lot of the clients that I'm speaking with early into this new year already. Today's Monday, the 4th of December. Again, to everyone joining us live, a huge happy new year to every single one of you. Guys, I hope you have your pens, hope you have your paper ready, because we want to deep dive into this goal setting session fast. And in terms of that, again, they always say a failure to prepare, you better be prepared to fail, because if you guys aren't thinking forward, thinking about the next 3, 4, 5 moves ahead in your story, you might find yourselves being left behind this year in 2022. Again, I think it's all been made clear to us over the last couple of years with the world the way it is. Again, the pandemic has taught us there is so much that we can't control. And many of us drummers are still stuck in that mindset of letting that eat us up. You know, maybe you sat there now thinking, again, I'm that person. I'm sat there looking outside, the weather, it's dreadful, it's raining. Or again, some of the things that are happening to me in my music, it's not going the way I want this past year. Well, guys, you have the ability to change your course, change that trajectory right here, right now. I always say to our private clients, a part of our backstage community, those guys are part of the inner circle, and anyone looking to join us can have a look at the link in our bio today, right after this live. And again, if it speaks to you, it might be the place to spend your 2022 as well, working with our groups in circles, in the right environment, because again, guys, the right environment is right around the corner for you. But we always speak to those guys and they always say, look, how do I level up? How do I make sure 22 is different to 21? Because if we're not too careful, guys, what will happen is we're in this cycle. And if we don't change any aspect of what we do, history will repeat itself. It will find a way of doing that. And before you know it, you'll be back to doing the bad habits, the things that you want to get rid of, that you wanted to get rid of last year in this year. So today, what we're going to do, guys, is, as I already have with our team, we're thinking forward, we're planning ahead. I wanted to do this special goal setting session for you guys on Instagram exclusively. And again, if you want some more support, if you want to execute, we can talk a little bit more about where you can go to get that support. But just breaking it down for you guys, what I want you to start thinking about really, and I've wrote some kind of things down for us to really sit down and break down today, is thinking about last year before we even figure out where we go forward. And it's great to see so many of you joining us. Again, guys, if you're just jumping in, you haven't missed a thing yet. Again, Carlton Banks, CEO of Collision Drumsticks. What we want to do each and every year is bring it back to basics, guys, focusing on the goals that matter to us and to you guys in your music this year. So if you are sat there, you want to make sure you're making the most out of this year, I strongly recommend you guys grab a pen, grab some paper, let's sit down and let's consider some of your goals for the year ahead. First things first, on that bit of paper, guys, what I want you to write down is what went well last year. Let's take a moment to reflect on 2021. 365 days ago, again, 12 months ago, January 4th, what happened from then through till literally last week, the end of last year. What I want you to do is break it down into months. January, February, March, April, all the way through the year. And I want you, associated with each of those months, to write down what went well in that month. So say, for instance, in January, were you guys launching a single? Were you guys getting on the road? Were you guys sat there recording a new drum track? You might want to drop us a comment below and let us know what was going on, what was happening for you. Again, great to see Steve C. Drums in the building. Again, big goals this year for Steve. Growth, had more gigs, more sessions, more lessons taught. This could be January for you guys. Again, when it comes to this year, we want to make sure this year is an even better year. It can't be the same year we had. So again, coming back to what I want you to do, write down what went well last year, what worked last year. Before we take our step forward and think forward, we have to look back. We have to see what we did back in last year. So again, for each of those months, I want you to really get clear on what happened in each of those months. If you like what we're talking about, drop us a love heart below, drop us a comment, let us know what was happening in the months that led up to last year. Again, January, February, March. What were you guys doing that worked well in those months? Drop us a comment, let us know. Hope this is helping you guys, again, figure out what we want to do. We want to benchmark again last year. We want to see what we did last year and set that standard last year to make sure every month going forward, we're bettering ourselves. We're leveling up. We're making sure January is a fire month for us. We're not just going to let January take ownership of us, because guys, it takes 27 days to break a habit or start a habit. And what we want to do is make sure that we kick all of the bad habits of last year and create great, positive, memorable, life-changing habits this year. This is what it's all about. And drummers in the room, if you think this doesn't relate to you, I suggest you think again. Because every single drummer that I've spoken to, whether they're a Grammy Award winner, whether they're a multi-platinum selling artist, what these guys have in common is they are so focused on their goals, and they are in such alignment to the goals that they have here, written down, and also mentally as well. It's mega important that we remember our goals, guys, and that we stay aligned and in tune with them. It's like a drum set, guys. If the kit isn't in tune, it's going to go wrong. It's not going to sound the way we want it to. Same with our goals. If we're not tuning in, dialing in those goals and getting locked in this early into the year, we're setting ourselves up for failure for the rest of the year, and we definitely don't want that. Again, guys, what I want you to do is you jump in and join us, guys. You haven't missed a thing. I want you to write down on pen and paper, on your jotters, on your notepad, on your computer, what went well for you guys last year. What were some of those strong points, milestones, things that you just knocked out of the park last year? I want to start with a positive. Great to see so many of you guys jumping in and joining us. Again, we're planning forward. We're thinking of our goals this year as well, making sure with 2022, guys, that every single one of you in the building is your year. At Collision, we want to make sure that we're supporting your success as drummers around the world every single day. You'll notice that myself, the Collision community, we're here every single week to support drummers like you guys right at home as well. Because, guys, let's face it, I know firsthand what it's like to be the only drummer in the room. I know how lonely that experience can be. I know how difficult it can be to plan, to set these goals. Again, if you're not in the right environment, guys, it might be time to change the friendship circles you're in. It might be time to kick the environment you're in right now. Because if you guys, I guarantee it, if you went to your friends, some of those friends would not be shouting and screaming and raving for you and supporting you. They might be saying, guys, what are you thinking? Why are you thinking about your goals? What are we even doing? Why even goals in the first place? Those guys are going to be tethering you down to the ground. We want you to be released from them. We want you guys moving away from those negative parties, moving into a positive environment. Because, guys, when you surround yourself with positivity, when you surround yourself with the right environment, everything starts to change. Same thing for me at Collision. I was in here locked in, trying to think I was the only person in the room, trying to work too much on the business rather than in the business, and vice versa. And again, rather than getting involved with just, again, one-track mind and thinking I could do it all myself, I decided to get out of that mindset, challenge myself to actually write some goals down. And as part of that, one of the goals that I wrote down was to make a hire, to hire one additional person into the brand. We did that 2 years ago. That changed our life. We now have a full-time staff of multiple artists around the world, new staff, current staff, and it's been the best thing that can ever happen to us. Because, guys, that's the thing about your music. You might not always be the expert in the room. You might struggle with the social media. You might struggle with the revenue generation. You might know of someone who is better at that than you. Why not speak to them and bring them into the conversation about maybe teaming up with them? Think about this. Bands. Why are you guys in bands and all the projects you're in? It's a team sport. It's a team effort. That's what this wonderful music industry is all about, guys. And we want you to start thinking about that today. So coming back to what we're talking about as part of this goal setting session, just to make it clear for everyone, so far we have covered what went well last year. Now, guys, what I want you to do is draw a line, and underneath that, write what did not go so well last year. What didn't go to plan last year, guys? When you rolled the dice, took a leap of faith, took that chance, what didn't go so well for you? I want you to drop either a comment below letting us know again, or start to write that down. Could have been a launch. You might have spent 6 months working on an album, 6 months working on that great EP or those great tracks, and you might have spent 3 weeks launching the track, and it might not have gone the way you wanted it because you maybe have, undercooked the album, undercooked the track. What I want you to do, guys, is once again we figured out what went well, now it's time to figure out what didn't go so well last year. And I want you to break that down into months: January, February, March, April through May through the end of the year of last year. I want you to figure out what didn't go so well. Drop us a comment, guys. Let us know if this is supporting you. We're always looking at Collision into ways that can further support, guys. Again, the drummers in this community. We want to help level you guys up. Steve's got a great example he just dropped there. Had over 20 cancellations last year due to COVID. Also had a member quit one band and had a heck of a time replacing them. Again, I really appreciate you being vulnerable today, Steve. These big challenges that we had last year. Steve had some mega challenges he was facing, a lot of which he could not control. And I always say, guys, it's about time we focus less on what we can't control, start focusing on the controllable. Start to focus in on what we want to do. We've got Larry who wants to create his own drum brand. That's absolutely phenomenal, Larry. What we've done so far is focused on last year. Before we even start planning our goals and mapping the goals going forward, we have to take a look back. We have to reflect. And we have to see what happened last year, because that's the track record, that's the runway, that's the track that we set ourselves up for playing into this year. Whether you like it or not, guys, last year happened. Again, whether you awaken to that or not, and what today is here to define is your starting point for the new year. We want to remind you, just because last year didn't work out the way you wanted it to, or whether it did, it doesn't have to be that way. We want to make sure that 2022, for all of you guys in the room, is the best year for you and for your drumming yet. So again, guys, I hope you're starting to write down some great ideas. Again, if you're liking what you're hearing, guys, and you want to be a part of kind of more inner circle conversations with myself as CEO, the executive team we have here at Collision as well, I have a dedicated team, again, experts in their field, people who are musicians full-time, producers who do this day in, day out. How wonderful would it be to make 2022 the year you sat there at home as a full-time musician? You kicked the 9 to 5, you kicked that, you became your own boss on your own terms, doing what you love daily. If that's you, we have a phenomenal community called Collision Backstage. We literally launched it last year, and let me tell you the why really brief, and we'll come back to the goal set. Last year, gigs cancelled. Show's not going ahead. As Steve's already mentioned, really challenging for us as musicians, really challenging time for us as drummers. Not a lot of certainty in the room. What we did as a brand was figure out ways that we could relight the community. How can we get you guys motivated? How can we get you guys showing back up for your fans, for your music, and making sure that we control the narrative, control the situation as best we can? Last year, we started hosting a number of exciting, unique, really special community events, and we put them on every other month. And we wanted to test the waters. There was nothing like this in the industry last year. Again, you might have seen the Drumio's, great channels for those drummers who want to learn an instrument. But what about those drummers who already know how to play and actually want to focus on leveling up the business side of their drumming? How to monetize, how to market themselves, how to grow. Well, we started putting these community events on, and we thought 50, 60 drummers might turn up. That was our goal, to try and get 50 drummers from around the world in the room with us. Guys, I'm going to let you know right now, we had over 250 plus drummers from over 100 countries around the world sign up for that very first event, which highlighted two things to us. Number one, the need for something like this within the industry, and two, the fact that we need to deploy this right now. And that pivoted into something magical. Collision Backstage, we launched it last year, a few months after that very first live community session. Drummers from around the world were able to connect in real time around the world virtually from the comfort of your own home. And if you want to learn more about Backstage, if you want to sign yourself up, try it for a month. We've got a 30-day month-to-month option as well for you guys at home. You can do that right by the link in our bio, or go to collisiondrumsticks.com/membership, collisiondrumsticks.com/membership. I encourage you all to give it one shot, see how you get on with it, because I know once you get in there, you will not want to leave, because the advice, the expertise, the experience that we have in the room is unparalleled. It is unbelievable. Coming back to what we're talking about, guys, literally we're benchmarking the past year. What didn't go so well is the question I have for you right now. Figure that out. Let's drop it in the comments below. After that, guys, what I want you to do is really focus and hone in on what your goals are this year. Now that we understand where we've come from, what worked well last year, what didn't work so well last year, now you've got this big picture thinking mindset. You've got this understanding of the overview of the year. You really have an evaluation now of where last year set you, what became of last year, where you're at. Now it's time to really start to hone in on, if that happened last year, what do I want to achieve by end of year this year? December 31st, 2022 is going to be a unparalleled position for you. This is going to be your biggest year yet. This is going to be the biggest year that you have ever made in your music. The steps you've made, the action you've taken. I want you to do me a favor right now and write down 3 goals. And I want you to write them down for one reason, because if they stay up here and they sit up here, guys, again, they will only ever be goals. But if you start writing them down or start to talk about them and share those goals with another person, whether it's a family member, friend, band member, could be another drummer in the room today. You might want to find yourself an accountability partner. When you share that, you already become 50% more likely to reach that goal, because you've just taken it from here and you're starting to manifest it and bring it into reality. And again, I want you guys to really start thinking about this. For many of you, it's a scary process. It's the first time you may have actually taken your music in this direction, seen it from this angle before. But I'll tell you guys, once you start to see it in this angle, you will never see it the same way again. Things will start to create opportunities for themselves. You will start to create opportunities for yourself. For myself, that's exactly what happened. For me, I wrote down goals as a child, as a youngster, as a teenager. I wanted to be in a band. I actually had that become my reality literally 6 months after writing that goal down as a young kid. I was in the UK's youngest touring band, traveling, playing shows, recording, writing with my best friends. I had that happen to me. Then I wanted to actually get involved more in the industry. That was one of the goals I had for 2016, 2017. Little did I know I was going to become part owner and then eventually owner and CEO of Collision Drumsticks. If it can happen to me, it can happen to you guys at home. There is nothing that makes the artists who you see on the TV, the drummers who you see doing all of these wonderful things around the world, any different to you guys at home. Seats need drummers. Opportunities need artists like you to take them. And this is why we're talking about this today, guys. It's great to see so many of you in the room with us. I want you to write down only 3 goals. Any more than that, guys, it'll become overwhelming. You'll have that analysis by paralysis. And what we want to do is make sure you don't have any of that. What you have is you're locking into what you want to do this year. So I want you to really get clear on 3 goals for you in your music this year. And if you would be so kind, guys, I want to make this as interactive as possible. I want you to drop one of those goals in the comments below. Yes, I want to let you guys know and invite you to drop a comment below. Let us know what your goals are for the year of 2022. By the end of the year, I want to achieve X. I want to do Y. For instance, let's throw some ideas out there just to stir the pot a bit and have some fun with it. One of your goals for the year might be to write that EP that you've always promised yourself you will write. Maybe for the last 4 or 5 years it hasn't worked out, but this is the year that you change the outcome and you do it for you. Maybe another goal could be, I want to become a full-time musician. Well, that goal might require a team around you. That goal might require you to take some uncomfortable steps out of that comfort zone. It's all okay sitting in the sheets, under the bed sheets, and not thinking forward, thinking about taking that step out of that comfort zone. But guys, you will never grow in comfort. When have we ever grown the most? We grow in times of uncertainty. We grow the most when we roll the dice, take a chance on ourselves, and see what comes of it. When we step into that role of uncertainty, when we step into the unknown. I know it's a very scary position, guys, but again, in order to grow, you have to do it. Look back on your life, look back on your music, and think about the times that you personally have grown the most. Just take a second to do that. And I'm sure you'll agree the times that you have created the most distance are those times and those periods when you have taken steps outside your comfort zone. I absolutely guarantee it. And I want to just round off today's goal setting by just giving you that one last overview. For those just joining us, for those just catching up with what we're talking about today, it's all about goal setting. I want you to first think about what didn't go so well last year. What was something that, again, took us all by surprise. It didn't happen. Gigs cancelled, the EP getting delayed. One of those things could be something else entirely different. Think about that. Then focus on what actually went well last year. What worked in your favour? When you rolled the dice, you got what you deserved. You got what you wanted in 2021. And then finally, to round off this goal session, plan and think about 3 goals that you want to set for yourself and your music over the next 12 months. And what I'd love for you to do, guys, right before we end today's live, is drop us a comment below. Let us know what your goals are for 2022. I want to be able to signpost some of these. We're going to be shouting some of you guys out who share your goals. To everyone who shares their goal below, we might add you to our story. That's an opportunity I want to create for you right now. And again, if you're looking to join a brand, looking to join a community of like-minded musicians, if you're looking to level up this year, 2022, you want it to be your year, you want to go full-time, you want to start growing the revenue, you want to start growing the fan base, I want to create and give you an open invitation to join myself as CEO, the inner circle, the exclusive team at Backstage. Collision Backstage, guys, was set up last year. We have over 100 drummers around the world who are every single week creating distance for themselves and also the drumming community around them by being a part of a core team of drummers who are movers, who are shakers, who are achieving their goals week in, week out. And if you want to be a part of that inner circle, if you want to do it for yourself, if you want to do it for your friends and family, and if you want to do it for the fans who are the heroes of your story, do me one solid, do me one favor, go to the link in our bio, click Collision Backstage, come and join us. We have an annual option if you want to lock in, commit yourself to the process and commit to the next 12 months in working in the best environment you will ever work within. Or there is a monthly option as well if you want to try and see how it goes for yourself as well. Be sure to check that out. Again, links in the bio or collisiondrumsticks.com/membership. But from me, from the team, I want to round off this session by giving you one last shot. Again, plan your goals, think forward. Huge happy new year from myself, from the whole Collision team. 2022, I know for a fact, is your year. And this is where we make it count, guys. Create that distance. We started off right now. Start by planning. Start by writing down what you want to achieve this year. I look forward to our next session, guys. Hope you got a lot out of this session. Let us know in the comments if you did. And again, it's a goodbye from myself and the team at Collision for now. We'll be back very soon with more exclusive interviews, content, live sessions. It's going to be a blast. We're going to make 2022 your year. See you soon.